Yes, this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. I want you to know that Jehovah knows you by your name. This is Open Talk. We come to you every Wednesday night, and we just want you to receive something that the Lord may intend to bring change in your situation. My name is Bishop Mark Kariuki, and coming to you from Open Talk. And in Open Talk, it's just an open discussion where you talk or I talk, or we hear one another and we move on. The aim is to bring information, to bring in revelation, to bring in wisdom, to bring in correction, to bring in reproof, to bring in that which is going to better your life. And we have always invited guests to be with us. Now we are back again. You know with who? With Pastor Ann Muratha and Joyce Pastor Joyce Kariuki. And if you remember very well, we stopped at a time last time we stopped at a time when we were looking at the family unit, and we said, Jesus said, if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that you shall ask, it shall be done. Now the husband and the wife are one, because the Bible says, and the two shall be one. So if we can get this in our minds, if our young couples can capture this, that the moment you stood at the altar and you are pronounced husband and wife, or the moment you went through the maze and you got locked in that house, and you saw your mother-in-law in the morning, and now you are told you are married, or you just went through the wire, you found yourself locked in there for 1 week. After 1 week, you are pregnant, and now you became a wife. There was nothing, no announcements. But that moment, you and your husband became a chilkende, one. You became one. And because you are a one, you make the unbeatable team. That's why Jesus says, if two of you shall agree on earth. So once we capture that now you are a one unit and you walk in agreement, then you discover you are not competing. Yes. Remember, we are talking about competing. That empowerment is not competition. It's not competition. So if we can capture that and realize that we are actually put together by God so that God can manifest himself in us, this will bring a whole lot of difference in our marriage relationships. And because of the way God values marriage, that's why marriage is so much attacked today. It is under heavy attack. Yes. The family is under heavy attack from all corners. All corners, marriage is being attacked. Yes. Therefore, we have got to rise up, and I'm so glad that God has raised you to be able to be a voice to speak for the endangered species. Yes. And I want you to know that you are not alone. You are not alone.
I like your content. I like the way you're putting it, because many a times this is where we are telling our audience to come together with us, because we are touching on a very shaky matter. You know, we have issues of feminism that have raised all over the world. There's nothing we can do about it, but we need to agree. Agree on what? Agree on, we were talking about the girl child being left so much. Then we brought the boy child, then we brought her next to the boy child, and we ended up making the same mistake we had made. Now we have left the boy. The unfortunate thing now that by leaving the boy, we have even broken the order of God. So where is this girl going? She will need this man to go together with. We are not saying that anybody should be left. Let everybody go. And we can say a lot has been done about the girl. Remember, our women never used to be allowed to go to the altar. Today women are all over. Our women never used to go to parliament. Today they are everywhere. So women cannot keep complaining that nobody is taking care of them. Care has been taken. But if you become a woman governor, a woman senator, a woman chief, a woman bank manager, do you still enjoy the joy of being a wife and a mother? Or now you let that go, and now we should be seeing the boss. The boss who cannot even give the husband some water. You became the governor, yes, we know. But just giving him a glass of water, and if he brings up a governor wife, that's a plus to you. But to some women, it's like, I am now here. You should understand I am the boss around.
So there is a man-made role,
yes,
and there is a God-made role.
And this is what we need to understand.
And when we forget the God-made role and just concentrate on the man, then there is problem.
Yes.
there is trouble. Because that's where now the competition comes in, and it comes into the killing of the man's ego.
Yes.
And the killing of the man's ego is done by word or deed.
Yes.
By word or deed. Because when you as a woman rise up and look at your husband, it's true he lost his job. He lost his job. Not that he is lazy, or he could even be lazy, but you are put together so that your industriousness could be able to lift up his laziness, and you come to the same level, then he will be profitable. Yes. But when you look at him and you say, you are not a man, why don't you do like so and so? Why don't you do like so and so?
You hit his ego.
You hit his ego, and the man goes down into a cocoon. So we have so many men who are hiding in cocoons because they have been hit and hit and hit and hit. Well, just a word of encouragement would build. Because I realize that words are very powerful. Words are very powerful. Yes. They can destroy or they can build. And the way we use them will determine what will come out of that. I remember very well many years ago when my son was a tiny little boy. I think they were maybe 3 or 4 years. 3 or 4 years, no, 2 years, actually 2 years, when our daughter was born. And now the attention moved from the boy to the girl. And this boy is feeling, what is this? What is going on? Oh, I was a champion here. Now what has happened? And so he would start crying for nothing, to draw attention. And maybe we will talk about crying later on, because there are things that are coming into my mind about crying. But the mother would cannot hold both of them. So the mother would pinch the boy, you go to your dad. He would come to me crying. And why are you crying? You are crying for nothing. Papa, stop crying. You are a bad boy. And the boy formed a habit. Every evening, we would go through that ritual. Until the boy felt, well, I'm not wanted. What I got to do, come in the evening, I would just cry. Until one day, I read a book. And the book said, you are taken captive. This is actually in the scriptures. You are taken captive by the words of your mouth. Yes. And this book was saying that the words we speak are creative. They build or they destroy. Then all of a sudden I realized, so my telling my son you are a bad boy is destroying him. Yes. So I purposed there, and I said, this one I've got to change. So by the time I go home in the evening, the boy comes. Same thing, coming from the mother crying. And he expecting me to smack him, and he cry more. Then he would go and sleep. We would wake him when the food is ready. But that evening, instead of smacking him, I got hold of him. Come, sit here. And I got the boy to sit here. And I said, you are a good. And he said, no. I said, no, you are a good. He said, no. I asked, who is good? And she said, Mommy is good, my brother is good, my sister is good, auntie is good. Who else? No, nobody else. And that's when I realized the damage I had done to my son. So I said, okay, well, so what's your name? And he said, my name. Okay, says so-and-so is good. I don't want to mention his name. I said, okay, so-and-so is good. He said, no. I said, okay, let's go. As a teacher, they had taught me you start from the known to the unknown. So I said, okay, say Daddy is good. He said Daddy is good. Mommy is good, he repeated. My brother is good. My sister is good. Auntie is good. And I am good. He couldn't say I'm good. I had to go through it several times. And the moment he said he is good, there was a smile on his face. He smiled and he stopped until he said good. So I now knew I had started something. So every evening, now instead of crying, I would put him on my lap. Say so-and-so is good. Until he realized that he is good. So words can be very creative. And one of the things that we need to check in the family are the words that we speak. Yes. What are you telling your husband? What are you telling your wife? What are you telling your children? Because the words that you tell your husband in the name of the woman being empowered could be the words that are killing him. Because when he goes to work, people listen to him. Yes. He comes to the house, nobody listens to him. Why? Because my wife is empowered. She is the general manager in such in this company. Me, I'm just a technician. I'm just a technician. Me, I just connect the wires. But when she carries her general manager or CEOism into the house, the ego of the man is destroyed, and the man becomes just a zombie in the house. So it is the realization that God knew. God knew that I would get married to a lecturer. And me, I even mathematics 5 + 5 × 3. That one I don't know. If you ask me the answer, I will not give you because I was not in that line. But for her, she will, when we go shopping, she will say, okay, how much is this? So this, and that's all the mathematics, and she knows how much change is going to be given. I have no idea how much change I'm going to be given. So I get the change, and I'm still going 1, 2, 3. Now she looks at me and says, you are so stupid. It's just a 10 bob. What does that do to me?
It destroys.
It destroys. So we need to go back and ask ourselves.
The words we speak.
The words that we speak.
What do you tell your children? Do you tell them you are a man and you need to be responsible?
Exactly.
Or you are just like your grandfather, the one you are named after. He was as mad as you, and you remain the same the whole of your life. And I have 2 women friends I will talk about. I don't want to mention their names, but I have 2 women friends. One is very senior compared to who the husband is. And because they are my very good friends, I keep making reference of them. I always ask the husband, don't you think you are a very special person? And I would want to use the same words that I use. Now this lady controls all these thousands and thousands of people. And when she comes in the evening, she feeds you. Don't you think you are a very important man in this society? And this guy once told me, you know, I had never thought about it. I had never thought about it. To the rest, she controls. When she comes, I control, and she gives me that opportunity to make her feel she's the wife of this home. Then I have another one who also realizes the husband loves credit even when he doesn't deserve. So this lady realized, for the sake of peace, she will be giving credit even when it is not. So you ask the wife the husband for a direction, tells you, oh, unaenda Mashako. Okay. The husband will tell you, take this route, then go down. After the market, then you will see the Machakos country bus. So the wife is like, hakiri dheri. Mimi hata sikuolewa na mwanaume. Niliolewa na akili. Yani no putting it in Kikuyu. Ni eti mwanaume wa hakiri. Hakiri dheri. No ingolera kana dojera. Hakiri dheri. And you know. And the husband will keep smiling. Then they make a comment on nothing, and the husband tries to explain. Like we talk issues, politics. They are very good friends. Like we talk politics and what is happening. The husband is like, no, let me just tell you what is going to happen in this country. Immediately he finish, the wife is like, because she realized this is what makes him happy. When he gets credit, like even when he doesn't deserve it. And this lady is never tired of giving credits. Even when you meet them on the streets, you greet them. She will even compliment the husband for accepting the greetings. And out of that, she has had her good share of enjoying her marriage. Pastor Joyce, you are quarreling with me on submission. What was your question?
You know, actually, one of our viewers, I think it was Karianjahi, and he had said that nowadays we have very few, there is less of women submitting nowadays. And that's a man who is saying that.
Yes.
And I think a lot is spoken about women submit, women submit. We even had another viewer who was saying that women should be submitting, serving, and supporting. That was Susan, that women are supposed to support, to submit, and to serve. This is a man and a woman that are speaking the same thing. And I know a lot is spoken about submission. Women are told submit, submit, submit. And it is biblical. That's true, we should be submitting. But I'm sure most women also always have the issue of I'm submitting, but also
to what?
To what? And also what am I getting? Because even when the Bible tells the women to submit to their husbands, there's also what the Bible tells the men or the husbands to do.
In other words,
their
you're
wives.
telling us it's a two-way. When I
believe so.
submit, there's something that I will get in return. And you know, Pastor Joyce, as I was telling you, when a man loves a woman, very few women, very few characters that are extremes will not submit.
Yeah.
Women like being loved and respected. We have a generation of men, in as much as we are talking for you, boy child, hata nyinyi mnaniangushaka saa ingine. Because I look at you and you have a wife, a newly married woman who is only hardly a year old in marriage. Na uko na mpango wa kando. So you even wonder, kama uko na mpango and you are 1 year married, what if when you be 10?
Yeah.
You will have 20 of them out and 1, 2 in the house. So that is now lack of respect. Because now this is what is, a bishop I would want to say, at times we are used to saying in church, these are sensitive things that we may talk in other forums. But where the world is today, issues now are being tabled. Our audience are watching us from there. Because Bishop, when it comes to matters that are really keeping people together, I would want to say to our congregation and to Pastor Joyce that submission is not intimidation. Let women not mistake submission for intimidation. It is not. But again, a woman who is loved and has a lot of respect from the husband will easily submit and matters that make marriage happy. Because when you see all this anger, you are pastors, you can bear me witness. Anytime you have couples coming to you, they will bring issues of money, of business, I don't know what. But Bishop, when you go around, you've been a pastor for many years. When you go around their issues, their problem ended up starting from the bed. The marriage bed has become very cold. And this is what is eating most families. People don't want to talk about it. They will go around other issues, but they end up there. And this is what our young people need to be told. Because it's like them, they believe things just work automatic. The other day I was talking to them on one of our vernacular TV, and one of the girls told me, why should we use the stairs when there is a lift? We want the lift, we want things happening very fast. And I was telling them, every other thing in life can have a lift, but marriage has to be worked out. You don't have marriages of lifts. You just have to walk through the stairs so that you understand where you are, understand the man you're married to, get to understand every relationship is unique. And as I said the other time, don't keep company with women who tell you, wanaume wanakuwaga hivi, wanaume wagani kwani, how many are you married to? You can only tell about mwanaume wenye unaishi na yeye, because it's the only one you know. Pastor Joyce will only tell about this mwanaume. You will tell very little about Muratha. And as I told you the other time, our men don't share. So you rarely find them hitting a common ground because they don't share. When they talk, our men today talk about Moi, talk about Ruto, Uhuru and Raila. That's what keeps them going every day. And these guys are busy doing their things. But this is where you find men. Women have no business with Uhuru. They elected him president, he can be there. Up to 2022, we get Unga, we vote somebody else. Women have no issues of who is going to be voted, who is not. Men will sit a whole day talking politics, doing nothing. Ulifutwa kazi, you don't want to think about what else you can do. You want to sit there and you say that, then your wife comes and you say like, be, sunajua na kufeel. So unanifeel nini and you are not giving me food, you are doing nothing, you are feeling me from the couch. So what are we talking about loving? Loving is action. How are you showing me love? You lost your job. Today you are doing a casual job to keep our family going. And that's a sign of love and respect. Respect of even introducing me to your friends. How you introduce me, how you make them feel. Bishop, when you introduce Joyce and you tell us this is my choice, you can tell when you look at her in the face. She feels loved. Listen to many Kikuyu men introducing their wives. As you are doing. You are wondering how many. You know those small things people look very small are the same things that destroy our marriages. Those things we don't even want to talk. So when women carry all these emotions, and they now go to the bedroom where marriage starts, it is dysfunctional. When the marriage bed does not work, Bishop, all this killing.
Everything else.
Because you as an adult, a whole adult man, a whole adult woman, a whole adult, even all these young men and women we have around here, today you cannot tell me there is somebody who can come from a marriage bed, enjoy his wife or the husband, and come and kill her. Like I was talking on Valentine's Day, and I met somebody, I came to town, and around Uhuru Park, I found some people with some pamphlets talking about Uhuru utakao patikana tukienda Paradiso. And I was almost like, who is going to Paradiso today on Valentine's Day? You know, you have a disconnect of what is happening in the world. How do you come to tell people about Paradiso on a love day? You don't even know you make religion look as scam. I really laughed on my own. I was passing through Uhuru Park. And this guy was talking about Paradiso. It is true we want to go to heaven, but we also believe in a God of order. Today we are enjoying ourselves around here, and God knows we are happy around here. So when you come and tell us about Paradiso, and I think I was coming to town to pick something, to go and speak to some couples in a church, where a pastor decided Valentine may not be a very godly or churchly event, but I can make it a church event by bringing my couples to the church and let them be spoken here, other than going to other things of the world. So what we are saying is, as Pastor Joyce is asking it, is a woman just supposed to submit? No, it's a two-way. For that woman, because there are women who come telling me, well, Muratha, I've submitted enough. And when a woman says enough, Bishop Mark, when you see a woman carrying her burdens, her baggage, and going back home, please, Murekiari, she has taken enough. And she feels, I can't take more of this. So how much as a man are you giving love? Love is not hiyo hawa wanaambiana na kufeel. Wamekutana leo, they sleep together today because they love one another. Oh, what is love now there? That is, and this is where I am keeping on telling them, even my young men, even when we are growing up, life has some order. You meet somebody, get to know them, start friendship, start loving, and love grows. It grows every day. Feel you love, then engaging these people, getting into marriage, then going to honeymoon, then bring children. But look at the disorder in all these people today. They start with the honeymoon. Some start with children, others come with friendship, they are building love in the house now. And with all this mix, inakaa kama ile mashakula ya Wakikuyu. Bishop, you know ile mashakula we were being given that used to be mixed, everything that was left over. Githeri, michere, kabeji, ugali mko ndani, mashakula yote na inawekwa supu. Na kama kuna viazi inaongezwa. You know, it's like some marriages in mashakula. You don't even know where it started. And this is where now I'm trying to say, you see, when you talk to Luos, and I'm sure Luos are watching me, when it comes to Luos spoiling women, they could be our role model. Luos can buy a woman a pen at 10,000 shillings for my babe to make her feel she's loved. Wait until you tell a Kikuyu man that nonsense.
A whole shamba.
So it also depends on where we come from. But I think when it comes to matter spoiling, I look at Luos. Luos doing it. And Luos, you need to give us the tips. Do your comments, let's see how you got there, how you realize this is what it's supposed to be. And that feel of pampering a woman all over. Even the Swahilis, you look at our Swahilis down coast. Women, they don't, it is not, a woman cannot work for a man in coast. You work, at mama akiwa na pesa, it is her money. She can never give you. But a man will always provide. And so the Swahili women will always say, mwanaume tu amwandalia, ukishamwandalia akishafika kwa nyumba ndio huyo wa mkanda. Yule unaona Wakikuyu wakikandwa na nani? And you know, amen, I like wondering, kwani hao walizaliwa wapi kwenye hawa wetu wa kuzaliwa?
Huko wanakandana.
Like when also our men go to Uganda, Kikuyu men go to Uganda, they see women kneeling when serving men, they are like, these are the women we need in our homes. Because it's like, there's that position a man wants to be felt. So in as much as we may not get them there, and get me right here, women, In as much as we will not get our men there, please, let's try. And I'm sure munaulizaga wawi wa Muratha atakuwa ameolewa na nani. Bishop Mark has cautioned me next time he invites me here, he wants to see Muratha here so that he gives a testimony of what I speak. I can assure you next time I'll come with him. I'll make sure I get a date where he'll be available. I'll sit with him. Not because I am the perfect woman or because he's that one very good man. He's just like them. He's just one of them. But I just had and purpose. As much as Pastor Joyce has purpose to tolerate Bishop Mark and live with him and say, this is the man I chose and this is the man I want to live with. Lowering his weaknesses and amplifying on his strength so that we are able to live together. Let people not amplify people's weaknesses.
I think you have said something very important, as long as someone has purpose.
Yes.
So marriage has to do with a decision.
Yes.
Where you get married, you look at the situation, you look at your spouse,
Yes.
you understand your spouse, and you say, okay, I used to hear them say, where I grew up in Elbagon, wotire jogu there is no elephant that can fail to carry its task,
yes.
regardless of how big the task is. So you look at your spouse and you understand, okay, this is how my spouse is. This is how my spouse is. She likes this, he doesn't like this. Then you purpose that this is mine, this is how I'm going to live.
Yes.
So I don't like ugali, but since he likes ugali, I will cook more ugali than githeri.
Yes.
Because that is what is pleases him. Then he also looks and says, this is my girl, this is my baby, this is the one I'm going to live with. She likes sleeping early. Or she likes sleeping late. Okay, I will try the best I can to doze in the early evening so that by the time when I normally go to sleep, the sleep is already gone, so I can keep her company, so that we are not rigid. You're not rigid. This is who I am. This is how you found me. I am not changing.
I picked it from my father.
It is in my father's
was like
blood.
this.
It is in my grandfather and even my brother. It is all like this.
All of us are like this.
So we've got to get to a point. So the issue of purposing, the issue of understanding one another. And also, I think communication is very important.
Yes.
Because there are things that maybe Joyce would never understand about me if I never tell her.
Yes.
And there are things which I will never understand about her if she never tells me. It is because we are one, we have actually realized we are hooked together. We are in this thing for life. In the church we have no divorce. And even in the world, divorce is tearing.
Even in Africa.
Divorce is tearing, is devastating, it is destroying.
Yes.
So you get to a point where you realize, okay, I'm hooked here. There is no alternative. This is how I've got to live.
And I have to make it work.
I've got to make it work. I normally tell people, a lot of people say there is no fight in marriage. But I say there is always a fight. And this is the fight. I give you permission to fight. But this is what the fight you do. You fight for your marriage to survive. You don't fight to separate, but you fight for your marriage to survive. In other words, whatever powers are fighting against your marriage, you have got to fight them.
You know what they are doing these days, Bishop? See that they fight for it. Wanawekeana mukia pale kanyage. Step on it and I will be gone. So if we went to any marriage institution to look for trouble, there will be trouble from day one. You see, like me when I got married, Bishop, there's something I didn't know about men. I didn't know that the brain of a human being is created like this. And that it is divided here, and women access both hemispheres simultaneously. This is why we are here with Pastor Joyce. We are talking, we are sipping water, we are thinking of what is happening at home.
About dinner.
Yes. The farmer is thinking about the farm. Just here, as she's seated, and she's able to coordinate what is happening all around here because she's a woman. Now, I used to watch TV with my husband, and I found him very rude or arrogant. Because like I'm trying to talk to him, he's busy. Naona watu wenye wana watch TV. Men wakianza ku watch TV, all their brain is there. Nyumba zinabomolewa Nairobi, zinabomoka, anabomoka nazo. Go down with the houses. You know, women get irritated because now the woman is bringing water, is bringing food, and is like, you know, like there's food already on the table.
While it is hot.
You are there watching, thinking about it. And you know the woman also is following the story. She is able to take. So she does not understand what is keeping you there. But a woman does not understand that men don't multitask. So you are on TV and that is it. Ndio unaona saa nyingine ukimuita anaka, haya, ulikuwa unaniita? Because from the back he could hear some voices like you're calling him. But he didn't pick it. So as you have just said, let's understand we are different. And stop working on people's weaknesses, but working on with their strengths. Because when you work with their weaknesses, you will never find somebody to live with in this world. Because all of us have a weakness, and we live together because we are able to now women need to understand that men's weakness, the hardest, is hitting their ego. Let women understand that. Reason why there are all these killings. You don't joke around with a man's ego. You don't joke around with a man's sexuality. When a man gets annoyed or you annoy a man, don't rebuke him by his sexuality. You know, they say sexuality of a man is connected to his brain. You don't rebuke a man by his sexuality and his ego because you destroy him and you finish him. So let our girls understand, and our women also out there, there are women also who are not understanding that the hardest you can hit a man is hitting his ego. Today, the reason why you are seeing most of our men drinking a lot, it is because a number of them are jobless. Then you ask yourself, so you drink the little you had instead of doing something with it? Because when he drinks, he feels high. You saw some young men the other day on TV. Walishikwa wamepanda bangi. Was it in Nakuru? I think it was in Nakuru. They had planted, I think, 5-acre bangi or something, or worth 5 million. So they are Rasta men. Then the police walks into that compound. The guys are brought on TV. Then they tell the police, oh, we are researchers. We have brought this for us. And you know, this country can become very interesting. And Kenyans made fun the whole night of the researchers they saw on Citizen. Because we are researching on, this is what I was saying, we are researching on CBO. It's telling the police they are researching. Then you look at the researchers, you are almost like, how? But you see, these guys are frustrated. They went to school with Pastor Joyce. They went to school with that other girl. They went to school with that other girl. All those girls are already employed. So how do I even approach any of them who are my age mates to get married to?
And they are employed.
They are already employed.
Because the society has been told we need to empower
the girl child.
So
So all the girls are employed. When I go to the village, all the girls we went to school with are driving. They come home driving. So how do I lift my ego? I can go drink my ego by drinking kumi. And it's only 10. That thing is 10 shillings. Akichukua that thing, ako highly. And he starts saying, I am going to be, like I saw a quote on social media the other day of two parking, what are they called? Chokora, parking boys. Wako kwa barabara. Wamesimama kwa barabara, and one is telling the other one, mimi nafikiria nitanunua KICC. This one is going to be my building. And the other one is like, nani amekwambia ninaiuza? So you see what? So those things they take keep them high, and they feel we can own this. So this one is saying he's going to buy it. Who told you I'm selling it? It's mine also. Wow. So I'm thinking our men are finding solace in drinking. So Bishop maybe will be asking to the people who are a voice in this country, maybe people like you, who we believe have access to talk to whoever that matters. Because from the way I'm listening to you, you are getting my content. There are people who really crash over what I speak. But from understanding my content, let's also have pastors now speaking, and Bishop also speaking of that. Let's try. And I don't know how you put it, because now you also talking of women will come here.
Yeah.
To fight back, and you will have to pay a price. But you see now, the favor God has given you can also bring that sensitive issue of who is marrying all these empowered women we are empowering? Today, Bishop, you go to most of the weddings in this mountain, our girls are getting married to either Western, Kisumu. We've sold so many girls in Kisumu, so many in the Western, so many in Meru. Not because it is bad to cross culture, because it's also very important, because this is also what is going to fight tribalism. But most of our girls did not find a single one in the region who matched their class. They are too high for them, because we thought, at wakimaliza Form 4, Bishop, when they finish school and they are in your house, you will tell the girl, go wash utensils, go to that M-Pesa shop, go and work there. But you tell the boy, enda kwa barabara kama wanaume wengine. Wanaume wenye wako kwa barabara ni researchers, mabangi. That's where he's going to be introduced. So are we getting to a point where we now, as much as we are taking care of the girl, also get to know we will not throw the boy there?
I think we need to start a campaign
on
empowering the boy child.
Can we look at this boy to Muratha where this girl is? Because when in this country you talk, the other day I was cautioning our men who are being sued for child support. And I was telling them, when they go to the chief for child support, chief anaanza anaangalia huyo mwanaume hivyo, ati ulizaa na fulani, nilizaa na yeye, unatunza huyo mtoto. Sina kazi. Ulikuwa unazaa ukiwa kama una kazi ufanye nini? Unataka kufungiwa ndani. So the guy says, mimi naweza pataka tu 5,000 kwa mwezi. So the chief harasses those boys. So I was telling those boys, next time you are called by the chief, usiende ukiwa mchafu. Hata kama huna kasuti, nunua kakoti kazuri, omba mtu kakoti. Na udispray marashi. So ukienda kwa chief, make sure you tell the chief, sikuzaa na mtoto. I resign, grown up girl. So I will pay the rent for that house. She will feed the child. Let's share the cost. But sasa unajua what the rules of this land are. Let the man carry that burden. It is good he can carry that burden. But can we be realistic? Is he able?
In other words, the man has not been understood. Nobody wants to understand the predicament of this young man, because we have concentrated on empowering the woman. So anything a man does towards this woman, it's bad.
Bishop, you have enough words, but you are putting it right.
But the woman can do anything, and still go scot-free. But this has got to change.
Wait until, Bishop, I don't know whether you follow the news of this country. News of this country is about who killed who. People who like peace don't watch news in this country. Because it is either politics, kieleweke tanga, or who killed who. So, when you listen to our news of who killed who and who killed where, when it is a man killed a woman, there is a riot somewhere. Hawa wanaume watatumaliza. When it is a woman killed a man, nobody talks about it. So does it mean when a woman kills a man, it's okay? Or when either kills any gender, it is wrong? And as you say, there needs to be a campaign of mutoto ni mutoto. Be it a man or a boy.
I think that is very, very, very crucial. Something has got to rise up, and we've got to rise up and say, there's been too much of the girl child. Because now you have said it very well, that we have lots of girls who are not getting anybody to marry them. Because the ones who would marry them in the village are dada heads. They are drunkards. They turned into alcohol as a place of refuge. So we need to go now back to our schools. We need to go to our schools. We need to go to our homes, educate the mothers who are there. And so that the mothers can see the responsibility of raising a man out of that boy, or turning that boy into a man, a man that is that knows God's position for him. Because once we get them to realizing that, then even without a job, they will still support their wives. I remember very well when I was a teacher, and when God called me, I resigned. When I resigned, before I talked to anybody, even before I resigned, I talked to my wife, my first choice, and I told her, you know what, God has spoken to me. What did he say? And he said, well, I'm going to serve him full time. So she looked at me and she said, well, if God has spoken, who am I to stand between you and God? And I asked her, do you know what that means? That means I don't have a check to bring at the end of the month. That means I don't have a salary at the end of the month. And she said, yeah, we shall eat mine. We shall, whatever I have, that's what we are going to eat. And that gave me the assurance to go out with confidence, because I know I have support from home.
Yes.
And there was, I can for sure say, there is not a day that we slept hungry. We may not have eaten the best we would have wanted to eat, but we never ever slept hungry. She would go to Elianto in Nakuru and buy some what do you call those long things? Spaghetti.
Oh, spaghetti.
A whole box of spaghetti. Because we had a friend who was working there, and they would bring a box of spaghetti, and for a whole month we would eat spaghetti without complaining, because that's what she could afford. It took us a long time as we went through that, but the confidence that I had in preaching is because I knew there is somebody at home who is supporting me.
Yes.
Now it becomes a major problem when you become a preacher and you have a wife at home who is working, and there is nothing you are bringing. You go home and she asks you, what kind of a man are you?
Yes.
What do you think? Who do you think
is you are denied food. She
Yes.
has even cooked for her children. They have eaten. They have washed utensils, and they tell you they have nothing to eat. The other day I saw a play on YouTube, and they had put a lady who had welcomed the husband home. Oh, karibu mume wangu, and then put the dishes on the table. Then the husband went and opened all the dishes. They had water, all of them. And the wife tells him, that's all what we left here. And that's what we had. I'm serving it to you. So chukua sahani uanze kuserve hiyo maji yote mpaka mwisho. There were 4 dishes and they all had water. And you look at it and you say, that's an arrogant way of doing things. Because a man will feed a jobless woman for 10 years. But an employed woman will not feed a jobless man for 1 month. Those women that are very, do I call them ungodly, or women that have issues with life? Because how would you, a husband takes care of you and today he's lost a job, you cannot be able to take care of you. How do you expect? And you know, I always tell women, the unfortunate thing about God is that he has 2 sides. There is the goodness of God and there is the bad side of God. Because this thing he passes on from generation to generation. So as much as you are frustrating, because when they say, Muratha unapenda sana kutetea wanaume. So I always ask them, do you have a son? Then they tell me, yes, I have a son. Ungependa sani yako afanyiwe hiyo ujinga inafanywa? No. Unaweza penda your son anyimwe chakula? No. Unaweza penda your son akuwe frustrated by another woman? No. So can you imagine that husband of yours is another woman's son? Alive or dead, he's another woman's son. So treat this son well, so that your children will reap that. He may, I've told women, young mothers, and I know now they will start fighting me, expect a fight from me. I always tell them, and they really fight me, I tell them, he may be those very raised ones that you chose. Majaribu kusaidia, it's like it is not working. But he is there maybe for your children. They are there and they are happy. And what you are doing, you are able to feed the family and be happy. At least maybe you have even a home he had built or he had even bought. Those times he was really him. Now today he is not him. So he is there. So what do you do as a lady? I always tell them, unacheza kama wewe. Kucheza kama wewe is feeling the joy of being a woman. I feed all of them. My husband and my children, and I don't think about it. I hate, Bishop, when people say, in our home, he takes care of food and bills and rent and everything. This is where most of these family problems are coming from.
Right.
Because if I am the one who is earning, where am I making him? Why would we come and the house be locked? Just because he didn't pay the rent and I have the money. Who am I embarrassing? Mwanaume hawaibikangi. He can leave and go. Na mwanaume has no shame. Lakini where you are thrown out there with your children, it is raining and you have money. How would you even leave your children or to go to school? You had chama money, but you can't pay because he has not paid. Me, I always say, life is about complimenting. He didn't pay school this time, let me pay. And all these things, Bishop, and you can say out of the years you have lived, are paid later in life.
Exactly.
This is where you're seeing most old women, you amebaki huko vijijini, giving testimony of the goodness of God. Because they are saying, when the father left, I made sure I'll put my kiodo on my back. And these 9 children had to go to school. Today, these ladies have enough to eat, to keep, and to give to the neighbors because they planted. Imagine if they said the father is not educating the children, so I also don't care. So whose burden do they become? The mother's burden, not the father.
Exactly.
So this is what women need to understand. When you empower your son, when you let your husband be, even when he does not have money and you see he's a responsible person, make sure you also push him. I'm also telling our women, wananichapaka sana our single mothers, nawambiaga even you can pick one huko mwenye anakaa na vision. He may not have money, but he looks visionary. Ujioshe. Ujioshe, wananiulizaga wako wapi tuoshe. Chukua moja uoshe. You cannot live single all these years. It is very cold on the 5th floor and 6th floor. To make sure osha kamoja muzeeke na yeye kenye kanaka kakona vision, sio wenye hana vision. He may not have money but he has a vision of where he is going. Hata ni hapo kwa kanisa kako tu kaasha kana kitu, but you never know what he can become tomorrow. Jioshe and make sure, don't expect that every time you wash the clean ones, the washed ones, the made. Make one also.
You know, I normally use this quote, Swahili quote, which said, ukiona vyaelewa vimeundwa. So nawe judie chako. You make.
I'm encouraging our young mothers, our single mothers. There are so many in the churches. So I'm telling them, you are a threat. You are threatening the church. Oreweni, osheni hadu tutumutu. Tunakaa tuosheki kwanza Kikuyuni. Osha kamoja, wewe osha kamoja, letea mchungaji, muombewe, osha.
You know, I normally tell our people when I'm talking with the married, with a couple that wants to get married, that you know you have got to cover one another.
Yes.
Because at times you have the money, maybe he doesn't have the money.
Yes.
And you have gone into a place, it's time for the offering, or it's time for a fundraise, and you know he doesn't have money. Instead of you rising up with your handbag and you are walking there with all this money, why don't you get some money and give it to him? Say, this is what we intended to give. You are the one who will give. So when he stands there and you go with him, you have built his ego.
Yes.
He knows he is covered. His back is covered. People there will not know that he didn't have anything.
Yes.
But if you go alone and you leave him sitting there, there is a statement that you are passing to the people, and you are saying, I am the boss here.
Yes,
I am the man in this house.
Yes. So
it is important that we be able to cover one another. That you are sitting, you are saying, okay, here money is needed, and you know she doesn't have money. You get into your pocket and you pass her that money. So even without anybody knowing, you give her. By the time they are calling her name, she already has money.
But look at our women today. You would notice what they do, especially these young ones. Hey, tukaanza kuitishwa pesa. Mimi nikaenda nikaangusha dhao yangu hapo. Niko namwangalia tu hivi nione kama kuna kitu atatoa. Haezi toa, hana kitu. And they think they are doing it for them, not knowing you are frustrating your own family because you are destroying your own husband. And this is where Bishop we talked about destroying the ego. So this man starts feeling low, he starts withdrawing from people. Because when he comes to people and they're asking for money, he knows the wife has, him he doesn't have. But he would have asked from home, do you have any money? I don't have money on me, so who has money? So can we share the money we have? We have 5,000, can I give you 2? I remain with 3, can I give you 3? I remain with 2. So when we go there, we are a complete family. Today, women have so many chamas. Bishop, the other day I told you, women believe in chamas of 20 bob, 50 bob, 200, and they have built themselves with chamas. Men live in imaginary lives of one day I will get 1 million shillings. He has never seen one, but he still believes before he dies he will get 1 million. Then he will do great things and everybody will be shocked. We were reading a text, was it a text that she had received of somebody who was believing, who had been praying and fasting for $20 million a man. And you are doing nothing. You coming just to church on Sunday and receiving by faith. I receive. And you want to receive and you are doing nothing about it. And you're living an imaginary life. So most of these women have done so many things. You go find coffee tables, glasses, a wall unit, and everything. So when people come, they are like, wow, your house is beautiful. And you are like, oh, ni ile chama. Ile chama ya mama sere ni huko ndio tulianza hii maneno. And I always tell women that is lack of wisdom.
Yeah.
Because even if the man is there, wait until you try his ego. Waseme, oh, you have a beautiful home. Then you are like, it's all about this man. If it didn't make us be who we are, that's why you hakuna kitu wamefanya. Number one, you're challenging him. You can do something. Number two, you are respecting him before his own people and his friends. You are honoring him. And you're like telling him, can you arise? And start thinking of what else you can do.
And number three, you are appreciating him
Yes.
for allowing you
Yes.
to go to the chama.
Yes.
And to participate in the
Yes,
in
because
the chama.
there are men who will not allow you to bring those things in the house. Even the glasses, you will crush them because he does not believe in what you are doing. So even him giving you that opportunity to be in the chama, that opportunity of you going to that chama and bringing these things in the house, that opportunity of even you also being his wife, it's also a plus. There's so many there who tell me, I have so many single women friends, they keep telling me, you are brother among those many things you talk. Can you tell these women to take care of their husbands? I'm a watupatie. Because it's like they are not able to handle them. These men are always complaining to us. My wife is like this, my wife is frustrating me, is intimidating me. I like women knowing that those out there with no husbands are wishing God one day, hata mi unipatie tu. Even the widows, I always tell the widows, please talk to these girls. Tell them the value of having him there, even when he is sick. The honor, the privilege, the Pastor Joyce, you can bear witness what it meant to you when you got married to Bishop Mark. Even those who disrespected you, hawakuomba ruhusa, they had now to Mama Askofu. You married a name, and your name has been changed. And your life is different. And they honor you more than they would have honored you those other times. Not that they respected, but that feel of ownership. Even other men respect women who are married. And those single women, friends of mine, keep telling me, unajua sasa nyinyi mnatuonaga sisi wote mnaona kama sisi ni wamaraya. Mjui wengi wetu venye tunapenda Yesu. Tunakaa tu huku tukipenda Yesu. Tukimuuliza siku yetu itafika lini. Because God is faithful and is able to bring them to that level. So when you look at them, they have a place they are asking, God, if you could only remember me and give me one before I leave this life. There's one who was telling me, he was telling God, even if I would get married for just 1 month and then I die, I want to have that feel of saying I am Mrs. So-and-so. Fortunately, she got married and she only lived for 6 years and she passed on. But she was telling me because she was unwell, she told me, at least I will die a happy woman. So I'm only trying to bring women to an awareness that you who has, respect him. You who doesn't have, keep trusting God and keep serving God. You never know your day. Then those of you who have men out there, your brothers, your sons, and they are all in all those things, they need the love of a mother, not the love of a father. Fathers don't care about naughty children. Even the Bible is very clear. Mwana mwenye hekima humfurahisha babaye. Bali mwana mpumbavu ni mzigo wa mamaye. Even God knows.
That was my mother's scripture.
Yes, ni mzigo wa mamaye. Men don't care. And this is why a man, a whole drunkard, will look at a drunk son and tell the mother, oh, nikamukole huku. Na anakunywa kama yeye. So you as the mother wonders, what do you do? Because he drinks like him, yet the father is telling you asimpate kwa nyumba. You wonder, what do I do with him? But you as a mother needs to keep talking to this son that before I die, because one day I know I will die in my old age, I want to leave you a responsible man. I will not die seeing you gone to the grave this early because of Pombe. I am living here to see your generations. I want to see your children before I die. So this boy now starts thinking, my mother loves me. Even when the mother goes to church, let her give testimonies of trusting. But look at our mothers when they give testimonies in churches, and especially in those our mainline churches. They will talk of the very good children. Kimani in the US, Maki, Korea, Nairobi, Joroge in Mombasa. I don't know who. Tell us even the one who is drinking in Githurai. And you still know Joroge is drinking in Githurai. He is still my son. From the same womb that I bore Bishop Mark, the same womb is from the drunk. That boy will grow knowing, and he will be told by people, Mama ako na shida akisema uombewe. So the boy will start recapping like, oh, so my mother has a place for me in her heart. But what are mothers doing, especially those who are Christians? Kuwa umeniaibisha kwa hawa watu wote. Umeniaibisha na mimi ni pastor. Let you not mix your pastor and your son, because also the devil is very keen on those things. He made them be that so that he can frustrate your ministry. But give a testimony. You are my son. The things you are doing are not supposed to be done by the son of a bishop. And I know one day God will put you to line to the things I believe in. I believe one day God will speak to you. So when we are positive to them, they'll start feeling loved. But when you tell them, die, kwa, I don't care. You have embarrassed me to who? He has embarrassed you to who? Who are you in agreement of how you are going to bring up your children? So you get to know you are only answerable to God. And more so, I would say this on behalf. I mean, as you said, I become a pastor on here when I come to one accord. But I would also say, let you seek friendship with also pastors. Make sure you go to your church. Give an offering. You don't have to explain to him. It doesn't matter to him so much. But I'm giving this offering as a cry and a commitment to my God over my son. Please, Bishop, say a word.
You know, that's very crucial.
Yes.
That a lot of people don't know that you can redeem your children.
Yes.
You can redeem your firstborn. When you look at the scriptures, you find the firstborn has a lot of predicaments. And yet the firstborn is supposed to be the strength of the father. But there are lots of problems. Maybe that's a topic for another day. But in the family, we need to realize that our words are very important. The way we talk to our children, the way we talk to our spouses are is very important. And those words can build or those words can destroy. Now, you need to text, you need to write and talk or call and tell us what you have received. Our time does not allow us to continue, but you can be sure, and you heard from her mouth that she will come with Mr. Muratha himself. we will be right here. I'm not promising this Wednesday, but we will let you know when she's coming again. But I want to say thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for sending this link to somebody. Please send the link to somebody. Somebody needs to hear this word. This is going to be liberating to many families. Thank you so very much.
And their opinion also matters.
And tell us, give us your opinion. Tell us what you think needs to be done. Join this campaign of delivering the boy child, delivering the endangered species, bringing man back to God's position so that he does not just operate in the position where the society has placed him, but man operates in the position where God has placed him, and the woman operates in the position where God has placed her. As we get to that, there is going to be unity, and the nation is going to be strong again. Because if the family is weak, the nation is weak, and we need to stand together. Once again, Anne Muratha, thank you so very much. May the Lord richly bless you. Please do make a haste and come again with Mr. Muratha, Reverend Muratha rather, and then we will be able to help the people of God. That's our calling.
Thank you.
Our calling is to bring help to the people or as much as we possibly can. Once again, my viewers, thank you. This is Bishop Mark Kariuki, your pastor and your friend for a long time, coming to you through Open Talk. You talk or I talk. We hear one another. We will see you again this coming Wednesday. May you have a super night. May you have a great time. And the Lord richly bless you. Amen.
Amen.